Good morning, and happy grand rising to those that grand rise. It's another episode of Sunrises with Julien. Yay. And I'm tired. I stayed up late last night. Now when I should have been sleeping. Now I got like a little tickle in my throat. Yep. Good morning, Wild Moss. Morning. There, he's gone. I don't really have a format today or any sort of set up topics to discuss about, which I think in the future I'm going to do that. So, I'm just going to free form it and just maybe pick out some topics and stuff to talk about. I'll tell you about my days and stuff like that. Yesterday we went to Soufrière, and we had a really nice, beautiful lunch for, I guess you'd call him a family member, Clee, a young boy. His birthday. He had an amazing day. It was really nice to watch him have just a lot of things were done for him, and I think he was really appreciative and just kept saying this was the best day of his life. So it's nice, to be able to experience his joy. So we went to this lunch place. I didn't even catch the name. It wasn't bad. It was like a buffet, all you could eat. And naturally, I ate too much, and I was like all bloated for the rest of the day, not feeling all up to it. And the view was nice. I wish there was a way to post. I wonder if you can do that here. But you know what? I don't have the data on here, or the images. Took some photos of the views from the restaurant. It was nice. Actually, I think there's, it might be too much work. I was gonna say, I think there's a way to add it. So it looks like not too many people are up in the morning. So it appears that Seamoss theft continues to be a problem on the island. It really sucks because, finally we got into a point in time where these Seamoss farmers are, getting some good money for the Seamoss that they produce, and because people see them making so much money, they're coming in and they're like doing a lot of stealing, and before, you always have reports of people stealing Seamoss, but a lot of times it would be come in onto your farm while the Seamoss is growing and they'll harvest it, right? Well, they started putting patrols and stuff like that to kind of stop that, and it has. But now guys are figuring out where the Seamoss is, excuse me, and they're just going to the place and swiping it. You know what I mean? There was one on the news where the girl lost 500 pounds of Seamoss, and they came right onto her, she had them in stacks in her garage or something like that. but she's not the only one where I've heard that story a lot, where people are getting, or they're leaving their stuff out to dry at their home, and it's like, they come back out, it's almost dry, and then it's gone. So I really hope. Good for all this yawning. I need to remember to get proper sleep on a Wednesday or Monday night, so that on the Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm not sounding so tired. So yeah, it really sucks that they just can't catch a break. It's like death is just coming at them from all angles. And it's like sad because it's not hard. Well, it's not to say it is hard work to do the Seamoss, but if you want to get into Seamoss, there's ways for you to get into it. You don't have to steal it from someone else. Go make your own money. Stop trying to take shortcuts. It's really horrible. So if you're a Seamoss wholesaler that's buying directly from St. Lucia, I really hope that you are buying from someone you trust, or for sure that person actually has a farm, because there's a lot of people that are getting calls from these Americans. I don't know how they're reaching out to them, and they're all like, "Oh, you're St. Lucian, can you get me Seamoss?" Morning, someone that has Seamoss, and then they get a guy, right? And then the guy's like, well, I can get you Seamoss, and, I know a guy. And then next thing you know, that guy that they know is stealing the Seamoss to fill the order. So, please, only buy from sources that you find reputable. And think of the Seamoss farmer when you're buying Seamoss from sources you don't know. And try not to do it. So much yawning today. Excuse me. I think I have to make a note that these shows are only like an hour long, because that's only how long you can have this show, this live stream, is an hour. So the sun, excuse me. The sun has risen above the horizon now. It's actually in the clouds there, waiting to make a little peak. Should be interesting. I really hope that I can get an episode soon where I can capture the sun coming, directly over the horizon. I think it's a cool effect. Yeah, I really got to get some topics going, because without, if no one comes in to the room to have a conversation with me, I'm really talking to myself, and I'm going to talk to myself. I should have some topics. Here I go young, I should get some topics on what to talk about. This is one of my favorite artists. I don't know how loud you can hear this song, but this Doom, MF Doom. those are curious, I listen to, my favorite choice of music is probably hip hop, but then I listen to all kinds of stuff, classic R&B, 80s R&B, dancehall, reggae, um, you know, different like electronica, I guess you would call it or so. I mean, pretty much everything but country. Not that I have a problem with country. Interesting fact for St. Lucia, or interesting piece of information. Many of the people here in St. Lucia listen to country music, and we have country music bars all over the island. And most clubs only play country music, you know what I mean? And like the young kids are into country music here, huge. Country music is like a big thing. You drive around and you hear it all, especially on the weekends. All kinds of country music playing. But yeah, my choice of music is hip hop, and I like MF Doom. I think he's a good rapper with some sick lyrics. Morning. Good morning. Morning. They look like twins. I think they're twins. Oh, here comes the sun. I can feel the heat. Actually, it's broken through the clouds. You just, because the sun's so intense, it's hard to actually see it. I can see it with my naked eye. It's so beautiful. I'm yawning so much. Yeah. Probably go back to sleep after this, and then I gotta spend the morning packing more Seamoss because we gotta ship out a big order in the next little bit. I'm gonna be shipping out a lot of purple because it seems like everybody's getting on the purple bandwagon. Well, not to say it's purple bandwagon, maybe the purple train or whatever. Just there's becoming a lot of interest in purple, and people are liking purple. I'm actually gonna test out. I gotta go blend it. Excuse me. I got some like separated green Seamoss. So they separated all the green Seamoss and put it aside. And so I'm gonna try just only the green Seamoss to see if there is like, they say that it has like cleansing properties and a few other things. So I'm gonna try it out and see, what I get. What experience I have, by trying the different, like if there's a difference. I feel like there's a slight difference with the purple. For some reason, I think it's just a lot of gimmick in my head, but you tend to like the purple just because it's like purple seems like exotic, And, but I'd have to go back to the gold to see if there's a definite change in the way I felt. I know that the schools, they closed down because shit. So tired I forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, I'm gonna look back at the video and laugh because I probably was on a subject and I just like paused and just totally forgot my point. I was probably just rambling on. Well, back to the sunrise. It's beautiful. And I can slowly feel like the earth waking up. I wonder if I should do the whole 1 hour. Well, during this, I guess, brief, like I got nothing to talk about. I should just, I'm thinking in my head, okay, what do we talk about? And I want to take this moment to just thank all those people that have placed orders in the last month or so, who have, because we've gotten a lot of orders recently, and just want to thank all those that placed the orders, and I'm hoping that you appreciate the product. We have been getting great feedback about the products that we're pushing, or selling. I don't say sound like a drug pusher, but, you know what I mean, we're getting good feedback, and, you know, I just want to say I appreciate the feedback. You know, you guys letting us know how the product is lets us know, you know, it's like results, you know what I mean? Like how our efforts are working, whether or not we're working in a positive way or working in a negative way, you know. And early in the video I was talking about the Klee having his birthday. Well, like, you know, a lot of the things that happened on his birthday were able to be covered for with the money that we made through the Seamoss, you know what I mean? And so for us, it's just exciting to be able to be in a position where we could give back to people on the island. And I mean, we took basically, I think it was 6 or 8 kids, and like, they had the time of their lives, you know what I mean? And to watch them play at the beach, and watch them play at the beach, and, you know, all have lunch, and, you know, they got ice cream and cheesecake, and, you know, and then we went to the, you know, and they ate like a full meal. They were all excited to like be able to eat all that they want to eat and stuff. Klee had like 2 plates. He was so excited, you know what I mean? Like, and then to go down to the beach and have them all play around on the beach and stuff. And then we were just about to head home, right? It's a whole van full of kids, man. It was funny to see them all laughing and screaming, you know, and joking around. And just as we were going to head home, my partner decides we're going to take a little detour, and we took the kids to the Sulphur Spring. And so, you know, to see them, you know, like, should we go? Should we not go? Do we want to go? Let us know. And then they're, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. I should have been filming more of the experience, you know what I mean? But, like, you know how it is. I'm not, like, gonna be those kind of guys that, like, always has his camera out, and just, you know, I was more, how do you say it? Sometimes you gotta, like, just appreciate the moment for the moment, when the moment is, and not have to capture, good morning, and not have to capture everything in that moment, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when you're pulling out your camera and you're looking into that lens, and you're, like, it's great to record it, right? But sometimes we tend to record too much, like, we record stuff that we're not even gonna be watching again. And so does it really make sense to spend your focus in the device that you have to record that moment, or should you live in that moment and let your body and your mind record it? You know what I mean? And I mean all the different nuances, and, you know, just like the whole experience when you're experiencing it. You can't get the same experience when you're recording it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you're not in the picture, you're outside the picture, recording that picture, if that makes any sense. So I didn't really record a lot of stuff. I mean, I took some pictures of the views and stuff like that, but like, it was just great to see these kids get all excited and scream, and then they go into the water. Into the mud baths, and you have pull mud, and then we had them doing like this little mock like fashion show or muscle man competition. All the men were striking poses, and all the girls were doing model poses and stuff like that. It was cute, you know what I mean? And these kids just had raw, clean fun, And one of the things I was saying to the lady, for me growing up, or my brothers growing up, or even me growing up, we always had a tight connection with our family. We always spent a lot of time with each other's family, and I think that's super important. If you have kids, to make sure that your kids have a strong relationship with their cousins and stuff like that, because it's these cousins that help build the support and confidence within each other. You know what I mean? And it's more of like kids naturally need to go through the experiences of dealing with other kids. But I believe you need, it's better to do it in a safe environment. And I'll give you an example. Me and my brother are like super close. And so is my sisters and stuff like that. And we spend a lot of time with each other. And so the kids have developed like a tight bond with each other. Like all the cousins are tight. You know what I mean? And so they look after each other and they care about each other. And when they deal with each other, sometimes there's good things and bad times. But they all respect each other, you know what I mean? And there's no one really burning one over the other. And so I feel like it helps the kids build the confidence, you know what I mean, of who they are and what's important. Because I don't know, for me, at least my kids, I've noticed that they don't really follow their friends. You know what I mean? They're not really into like what their friends are doing. And like if their friends are doing something that they're not doing, they're just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Or if they get into a fight with their friend, they don't even really fight with their friends. They're just like, this guy's messed up. You know what I mean? And they refuse to deal with that person, or, you know what I mean, hang around that person. They just kind of cut them out of life. And what I noticed is that anytime they have a problem or whatever, it's like they know that they can go and hang out with their cousins, and those are like their true friends. You know what I mean? These other friends, they know they're not real friends, because they get an experience of what it's like to be around family and how family treats each other. And when they meet a friend that isn't like that, then they know it right away. You know what I mean? They're like, this guy's not cool. So I guess to sum it up, my point, I believe it's important for you to have tight relationships with your family. And so these kids were getting tight. They were all joking around, supporting each other, making each other feel special. And, you know what I mean? Oh, come over here, play this and that. It was great. Like, it was really, like, I don't know. It made, like, all the work that you do worth it. So, I don't know. It's like, everybody needs their why. And for us, our why is just to have a better life and to have a better St. Lucia. No. I know I definitely feel like I was blessed to be in this position to, create this business that sells good Seamoss. I don't know. I'm very, 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 very proud of the Seamoss that we sell. I'm very proud to represent the farmers that we represent and to work with them and, to build the relationships that we do. There's a lot of things that we do that we don't talk about what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I think that's like, you don't do these things so you can go back and say, we did this and we did this and what did you guys do? I don't want to be that kind of guy, you know what I mean? So that's why we don't really talk about it. But know that, we don't just sell Seamoss and that's it, and walk away. We definitely do not just walk away. which reminds me, I gotta shoot a message to this guy, this farmer. He's building a mega farm, I guess you would call it. I don't know if we would call it a mega farm, because it's not massive to be called mega, but it's definitely one of the most organized farms that I've seen. And I'm really impressed. We didn't get a chance to go in the water, which I was hoping we would when I saw the farm, but the way he explained how it's designed, it's like set up with like minimal sticks and maximum amount of density, you know what I mean? So how his farm's set up is he's got this farm set up in a bay, and can't remember the length of the bay. I think the bay is like 25 feet or 30 feet by 30 feet, and then you put a 4 feet space so that they can move in between it, and then they put another bay. And so this guy's about maybe got 6 or 8 bays like that going across, and then I think it's like 2 or 3 bays going deep. And then in each bay, there's several lines going in one direction. You know what I mean? And they're connected. And so, I don't know, I don't have a picture handy that I could play. I gotta set some stuff up where I got content on my device. But it looks fucking cool. It looks really, really organized. It's almost like precision, like a grid system. And he's going to be producing, I believe he estimated about 900 pounds a week. And one of the things I like about his setup is that, okay, you can have a large farm, but you need people to work that farm, right? And to cultivate, like basically clean the lines and keep them continuing to be, because some of the Seamoss breaks off the lines, so you got to reseed the lines, or add into the Seamoss that's been missing. And so that takes a lot of work, right? So what he's done is he's done this ingenious setup where he shares the space with these other people. So he sets up the farm, but his employees are like partners with him, and they all manage a little spot. Good morning, Vegan Electric. Our good friends, Vegan Electric, that make some great products, and they're working on some really cool recipes. So if you get a chance, you definitely want to check out their Instagram page, and definitely check out their site. They're gonna have like good morning. They're gonna not only have like the product selling, but they're also going to be giving out recipes and doing stuff. Talk to them about doing some like food remixes. So they take your diet or what you normally eat and like, and then they work with you to remix the food so that you are slowly getting off your your meat-based diet and moving to a more plant-based diet. So good morning, Kenya. Wagwan. I'm just chilling. I'm tired. I was up late last night after we talked. I think I stayed up till like 1 o'clock almost. Well, no, actually late, like 2:30. And I was just, listening to music. I'm going to be coming up with some cool videos for, cool videos for, promotion or whatever. I'm going to get some shots of St. Lucia and then put them to some background music. So I was listening to some music last night that I'm going to use for background. I think it's going to be a pretty cool thing that no one else is doing. So what's going on with you, bro? Anything new in the vegan electric world? Driving home late night. Oh my gosh. You must be like burnt, to say the least. Because I know you were up, like you started work late. Which video did you see? You said I saw the video. Just curious which video. Well, no, which video? Like I have so many videos. Because he just answered yep. So, oh, maybe yep, you're driving home and you're tired. Okay, sorry. That is one, like, how do you say it? One thing that I have a challenge with is just like there's a delay, I guess, and there's a delay, and so when someone puts the music, like when someone answers me, I'm not quite sure what they're talking about because I tend to talk fast and I switch subjects a lot. So with the music, because you answered that you saw the video with the music, are you talking about the one with um Lika Ike, I think, Lika Ika or whatever, where I'm coming from? I made this really cool video called with the song where am I coming from? And it's all for us going to Font Saint Jacques, which is just out of Soufrière. Yeah, that video is sick. You know what's sad, and this is something that I kind of like friggin' hate about like the internet and just, well, not the internet, but the people that fuck up the internet. Excuse my language. All right. Internet used to be cool. The internet used to be fun, but now there's all these rules, these conditions. You gotta click this stupid fucking box every time you go on a website. Oh, I accept cookies. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's so irritating. It's like just because you don't want people tracking where you go to know what products you're buying, so that they can, you know what I mean? You seen the worms, right? I saw my dad's freaking out because he's got some plants out here, and the worms, something's eating these leaves, and I saw these worms. Like, I wonder if I could get them. They were moving pretty quick, and they were eating the. I think they're eating his plants, but there's actually some salt that we get off the Seamoss, and I've heard that they use that to keep the insects off the plants. I'm gonna learn how to do that and figure it out. So wait a minute, Vegan Electric. You're driving home, but yet you're answering texts, and I hope you're just listening to me and not actually watching me while you drive, because then your attention will be sort of split between me and your drive. That wouldn't be safe. Eggshells ground up take care of the worms? I didn't know that. Oh, you're gonna come in? Yes. I love when people join the video conversation.
What's going on? Good morning, world. What's happening? I
Good
am
morning,
driving.
Kenya.
I am driving. It shouldn't be, I thought I'll chime in on the video uh, and go like that. But yeah, you grind up some eggshells and you just spread them around the plants. The worms don't like it. It feels like they're walking on glass.
So you ground it up in like a fine powder?
And then sprinkle it all around the base of the plant, even in the
Yeah,
soil,
so
and also the eggshells will break down and go down into the soil and provide additional nutrients as well. So, yeah, gotta reuse everything, man.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's funny you say that because we do have a lot of eggshells. Because I eat a lot of eggs, and the we keep the egg containers and the shells because, like you said, we put them on the plants, but we don't really grind them up. But I think that might be a good idea is to grind it up and then put it around the base of the plant so that the worms can't crawl over it.
yeah, they won't enjoy that at all.
Some
So you definitely gotta let me know how
Yeah,
that
yeah.
goes. Yeah, what people don't realize is like I worked as a plant pathologist and an entomologist back in the Caribbean, and so I specialize in integrated pest management. Natural
Uh-huh.
stuff.
That's
And there's
awesome.
so
That's
many
awesome.
also items that we have that we used back in the day, but now with all the marketing and stuff, we go and buy chemicals and put on plants and.
Yeah, like Roundup and stuff like that.
Right, right. You want to hear an interesting story about?
Yeah, please.
But
Hold on, you're
they
breaking up.
Okay, Roundup is.
Hold on. I think you're going through a bad area, Kenya, because you're getting delayed.
I think I'm getting in now.
Can you?
Hello.
Yeah, can you repeat that again? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah, but Roundup is banned in the
Yeah.
United
So can
States, but they ship it all throughout the Caribbean. We still use it, and it's some really
yeah.
nasty stuff, man.
Yeah, you're right. In St. Lucia here, they're trying to like curb a lot of people from doing it because they do a lot of like naturally for years traditional pest managements, and there's ways to manage the pests, but like people are just like, oh, it's easier to, this is the problem with commercialization. It's like they do so much bad things in the quest to produce a lower cost product so that they can sell more to people. And like my belief is sometimes selling it the cheapest is not the best. Like stand by your product. You know what I mean? Produce something good and
Absolutely,
it's well made, and people will pay
absolutely,
for it. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, the perfect example of that is I worked at a luxury, super luxury establishment. Throughout
Mm.
this entire pandemic, they have not once dropped their prices, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the occupancy at this place is still quite high, because they refuse to lower their prices in order to get people in the door because they stand behind what they believe, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I think that's the thing, it's like you learn these business models from some other people and you see how that can apply to you. You just gotta, it takes a bit of guts, some nuts, and
Yeah.
stand your ground and believe what you believe in.
True. True. You
Yeah.
should
But this has
actually.
been really cool.
Sorry.
I said this has been pretty cool to be able to tap in. Uh, it'll be nice if we have more of the resellers of your product, tap in from time to time and jump in on the lives. I think it's a dope,
Yeah.
dope, dope thing. Yeah.
Listen, I love when people come in, and I'm encouraging anybody that's watching this video that's like hesitant about reaching out to me about doing this. I mean, whether you call me up before or even do it while I'm in the middle of conversation, like doing a live stream, it's more engaging to have someone I can talk to, and
Right.
we tend to get into different topics and subjects that I
Sure.
wouldn't get to when I'm rambling and ranting by myself, where I feel like I'm just talking to myself in an empty room.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
and I am going to create like these are more for the sunrises, and then I guess I random talks or whatever. But I want to create like a time or a day where I'm purposed about going online to say to talk to companies like yours and companies like gel makers and stuff like that, because there is a lot of talk recently. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about like the FDA's taking notice, and people are getting worried because this product is something that you ingest, and they should be concerned. You know what I mean? They shouldn't make
Yeah.
sure that the person that they're buying the gel from, knows that they have a good heart, where they're not doing it about the money. You know what I mean? They're not doing it to
Right.
like these commercial companies where they're putting the stuff out there, like Roundup, to cut costs and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like,
And the other,
and
and,
sorry.
and the other thing as well is like the Seamoss gel sellers. A lot of it is a cottage industry. There's no big manufacturing plant and stuff like that where they're cutting corners. They're buying product, and then they're taking the time and buying all of the ingredients, and most of them appear to be buying the best possible ingredients, like the
Hmm.
Seamoss, of course. But I watch them. They be using distilled water, you know, um, and they
Hmm.
seem like they are sharing practices, which I think is dope, you know.
Hmm.
But like you said, the FDA, because they see people making what they believe money from a cottage industry, um, they want in. They want to regulate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things is like sometimes instead of letting them regulate you, you regulate yourself.
I
You
agree.
know, yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree. Self-regulation, you know what I mean? And just, like, because here's the thing, they're going to regulate it the way they think they're going to regulate it, but they're not in the space, working the space. So they could potentially create rules that are just counterproductive to the industry, and it's going to kill it,
absolutely,
you know?
absolutely. I mean, look at the vape industry, for example. It's a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cottage industry for years and years and years, and now it's a lot of scaremongering and because they own the media outlets as well, so they're saying people died from vaping and stuff like that. No, people died from cowboys that are making CBD and using isopropyl isolate to extract the CBD from the hemp flower, and they making it seem like they painted everybody with the same brush, but that's not the reality. There's some
Yeah.
people that got into it. They may not understand the chemical process behind it, and have made it quite scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I think the media just fucks up everything, excuse my French.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
they do.
absolutely.
Anything that's good, like hip hop used to be good until the media got into it, and now you're hearing hip hop songs on every commercial about mayonnaise and whatever product that they're
Right,
like. That just kind of to me just kills the product. I mean,
right,
kills the vibe of what hip hop was.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. And both you and I, we love music, and
Yeah,
so it's like, when was the last time you actually got excited about an artist? Um,
not too much.
yeah, it's few and far between. Whereas before, in the golden era, it was like, oh my God, this person, oh my God, this person, you know. Uh,
Actually, speaking of artists, you know who I really like that like he's been around for a while. He's been around for about 4 or 5 years, but I just started like hearing his music. Is Thundercat? You gotta go check out Thundercat.
okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
he plays a lot of like cool like old like 80s R&B and like funk and stuff like that. And he's like a bass player, so his bass lines are like ill.
Oh,
Like,
okay, wow, wow. I mean,
yeah.
out of this new breed, I would honestly say I like the Kendrick Lamar's. I like him, but I don't really rock to too much stuff. Not too many things come across my ears, and oh, I want to vibe with that. I can listen to that on my long hour-long journey back to Buford. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not many. In fact, the funny thing is, I've been listening to a lot of house music. you know?
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
house music.
yeah, yeah. It's the thing that helps with my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, even with this, like, it's a good thing to do, man. And I actually hope that you put it up or save the video as like a YouTube and call it Sunrise Talks, or
Well,
Sunrise Lucia, something,
well,
and put it on a YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
Well, I am doing that on the Instagram. So if you look, I don't know how to access it, but I create this as a series. So there's going to be numbered episodes of the different conversations that I've had. You know what I mean? So all these are getting, I guess, recorded and documented, so that
Okay, that's
people,
cool.
yeah, because not everybody can get up at 5:30 in the morning
Right, right,
and
right.
join in and stuff like that. But what I've seen is people are watching the videos later and they're liking them or they're putting comments and stuff. I had a couple of people do conversations about gel because we had a little bit of a topic about what's a good price to charge for gel, because you've checked the market too. There's such a variance of prices of
Yeah,
what
yeah,
um what someone pays for gel, and then there's different qualities, and I think that's another reason why you like you suggest that I highlight these gel makers, and I think that's important to do that is because everybody makes their gel differently. Why is this guy's gel better than another person's gel? The only way
Right.
you're going to really know that is by meeting these gel makers and listening to what they're like, how they run their
Absolutely.
business somewhat, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, you can tell because I mean, like, look at some of them. They will use alkaline water, for example, or Keegan water, or some will use distilled water. Some
Mhm.
people's ratios of water to actual soaked moss will be higher than others, you know,
Mhm.
and that of course will affect the consistency, the thickness of the gel, or the denseness of the gel, you know. So
Yeah.
it really varies. It really varies. And I think, like you said, if you believe in that person and the message behind them and, you know, the ethics, then I guess, you know, you're prepared to pay that price, you know. It's like the
Yeah.
hotel business. You know, some
Totally.
rooms are more expensive than others, but when you look at them, they really kind of look the same, you know,
Mhm.
to some degree. Some people put a lot more effort into the bottling, you know, the marketing, and so you're going to pay a higher price. Just think about what's that company, man? Oh, don't tell me it's a crash on this damn highway first thing this morning. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Welcome to Atlanta.
Yeah, the traffic.
Damn, damn, damn.
I just
I'm
want to
not even.
say good morning to Divine Herbs and Healing. So,
Good morning, Papa.
yes. So here's another thing that I see about doing this, right? And one of the reasons why I'm encouraged to doing it is that as you bring these gel manufacturers online to talk about their product and they explain their process and stuff, there's going to be other gel manufacturers, possibly new ones, that are coming into the market, like the space, and they're catching the video and they're seeing how these guys gel makers. You know, the one thing I want to put out there to people, like, do not be afraid of people copying you. Okay, I tell a lot of people, don't invest the energy to protect yourself because it's not going to happen. The second you have a thought about something, there's literally at least 5,000 other people in the world that that have that same, either have that same thought or are having that same thought as you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
do not
right,
fool yourself into believing that you're the only one that can come up with an idea. You're the,
right.
like, if you've come up with an idea, someone else has come up with it too. It's whether or not who acts on it first. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point because, like, remember, I was explaining to you in a conversation a while back of when I first wanted to launch Vegan Electric back in 2017,
Yeah.
and I went to an app maker because I wanted to provide, like, I wanted to solve the problem of people trying to find the items on the SABI approved list, and um, and this guy, he was like excited. He was all saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." Mocked up the app for me, and then he hit me with a sticker price that, man, I'd have to be Daddy Warbucks in order to afford. And
Mhm.
um, and it made me wonder, like, was he trying to run with my idea? So I remember a story about the Wright brothers, and then there was another set of brothers that were trying to launch or be the first to successfully fly a plane. And the thing is, there was another team that had did it. The only difference with the Wright brothers is that they would generate the same vision to fly first. What the Wright brothers did, they had a passion behind it. They had purpose behind it. And you don't even remember the name of the other guys that were pioneers in aviation. All you hear is that the Wright brothers did it. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
it's like, yes, you want to protect your intellectual property, but with people's interest and passion. Passion fuels innovation. Problems fuel innovation. And
Mhm.
as you may decide to figure out how to, I don't know, ship Seamoss gel across the state, somebody else may turn around and figure out how to do that as well, you know,
Yeah.
because they're facing the exact same problem. Like, I jumped in a forum recently, and somebody was saying, like, how do I ship because they only provide gel locally, and they wanted to expand their business. I said, well, hell, you can just get like those insulated liners and put it in your thing, and you can get all that from one manufacturer.
Hmm.
Will that kill me as a person that could sell gel? Yeah, it could. But I gave it to him in the spirit of love because I'm thinking like, hey, go out and do it. Like, what's stopping you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I would rather somebody answer a question than to be so tight and not share the information. Because really and truly, like what we're doing is actually helping people to live healthier lives by providing them with an extraordinary product that has
Hmm.
extraordinary benefits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
No.
um, and that's the passion behind us. People like Divine Herbs, people like yourself. It's like the passion, and I think that overrides everything else, man.
Well, you're right, because if you have the passion for the product and you're involved, like what I always tell people when in regards to the copying idea is that as long as you are ahead of the game, you maintain yourself as the position of the leader. And what I mean that is like if you're going to say I have this idea, right? And you figured out how I did the idea or whatever. Now you're copying it. I got two choices. I can either just accept it or I can come up with a new idea that you haven't
Right,
figured. Like as long as you're keeping innovating and you keep coming up with new ideas, these people they can copy you all you want, and they're not really copying you. They're following you. Do you know what I
right,
mean?
right,
You're the leader, and people will see that. They'll see that you're coming up with new stuff, and these people watch. People pay attention to the market. Hey, I just want to say good morning to Daryl while he's here. I don't know if he stayed in the room, but like I said, it's don't be afraid to be copied. Be
right,
afraid of not having the ability or the time to invest in being innovative, because that's
right,
when you're going to become stagnant. You know what I mean? When
right,
you can't
right.
come up with newer ideas to differentiate yourself from the market, you're going to be lumped in with the rest of the market.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I mean, look at like with gel. For the longest while, people were only selling just straight raw gel. Man, I came across somebody that was sticking peaches, and I laughed, because I had just did a post about the benefit of peaches, and
Hmm.
and I saw this person mix up like they called it peach cobbler gel, and I was like,
Wow.
man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And because I'm curious as what are people doing? Like how are people using it? How are they innovating? And not so that I could copy, but it's inspirational. So they're creating this Seamoss gel like it's a dessert, you know?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's quite fascinating stuff.
I've seen some gel makers where it's like these people are eating it like right out of the jar, like it's
Yeah.
applesauce.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right. And that shocked me because the way we grew up in the Caribbean, we used to just have it in a drink with some condensed milk.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
No, that's how they still do it down here, and they boil the sea moss.
Right. Right. I
Yeah.
yeah. I was watching a debate going on. Should I boil it or not? And I'm like, look, it don't matter, man. It's however you consume it. Consume the product. It's an amazing product, man. It's like the next because this may sound controversial, right? But
Hmm.
weed is a natural plant, right?
Yep.
And funny enough, the chemical like composition of THC is very similar to the cannabinoids we have naturally occurring in our bodies, right?
Yeah.
And that's a gift from God. And then look at how now you got this. People are realizing the power of Seamoss and how it has almost all of the nutrients that your body requires, you know.
Hmm.
And it's like that too is a gift from God. You know what I mean? It's amazing, man. And you just gotta, if you love it and you ingest it and you see the benefits of it, more power to you, man. I'd rather see people have some life changing moments doing that, man.
Hmm.
Trust me, it gave me great joy to see that woman, that finicky American eater. She had some of the moss I had, and she turned around as like excited. She's been putting it in her husband's coffee, because
Mm-hmm.
it makes him a bit more like, hey, come here. And I laughed about it, but it made me know that, hey, man, like, we're doing a good thing, man. We're really like allowing our own to see, hey, there's some indigenous alternatives, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's out there. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and a big shout out to Divine Herbs, man, because like I tried their product the other day. Absolutely love it, man. Like
Really?
you, yeah, 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 yeah. You can taste the passion in what they put in, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Great product, man. Beautiful aroma. It's one of those things that you. It's like it has a meditative quality. I'm just chilled, you know.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like, all of these herbs, they kind of are like divine. You know what I mean? Like all these plants, they are divine. They are there for us to use. And don't worry about whether somebody copies you or not. Sell your moss. Show them the
Yeah.
difference. You know?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
just focus on putting out a really good product. The market will know.
absolutely,
Yeah, I just want
absolutely.
to I don't know if I pronounced it right. Mandra or Mandra. This guy here, he wants to say hello, so I just want to say hello, acknowledge you. But getting back to what I was saying, you focus on a good product, the market will know. They'll see what you're doing, and they'll see the
Yeah,
difference.
that's my
People are
son.
always watching.
That's my son. It's Manraj.
Oh,
That's my son, man. That's my son in the UK. Hey, Papa, I
nice.
love you, man. That's made my day, man. Look at that. Your daddy
Well,
loves you, Richard.
Kenya, when you're doing this live stream, you're live streaming to all the people that are in your sort of followers.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't know that at first until I did a live stream with this guy, and we were talking, and we were just talking for the sake of talking, and then he said he had to go because all these people were just coming in, and they were buzzing him and stuff. I'm actually getting a countdown timer. I think I'm gonna have to end this soon because I'm at
Oh,
1 minute 45 seconds.
okay.
Yeah, because Instagram only lets you do it for an hour. I mean, if you
Right.
got more time, maybe I can
Man,
reset it and you can
yeah,
hop
we
back
can
on.
reset it and jump back on, man.
Well, let's do
That's
that because you
cool.
know what?
Yeah,
Sometimes when you're in the
and good
middle of
morning.
something,
Yeah, and good morning
God
to
doesn't.
uh, my son's auntie, from the UK. Good morning to you. Thank you for letting my son time in and say good morning.
Yes,
I
yes.
appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, I really do.
Seamoss for Life UK just joined in. I want to say hello to them too.
Yes,
So listen,
yes.
guys, we're gonna continue this. We're gonna do part 2 today. We're gonna make this like whatever how long it takes Kenya to drive home. So Kenya, let's end this now, and I'm gonna reset it again and
And I'll jump
just
back
watch for
on.
my stream. Yeah, I mean drive carefully, but
Yeah.
yeah, let's jump back on.
All
All right,
right,
guys,
cool.
I'll see you in a few
Blessing,
minutes.
blessing. Grand
All right.
rising, everybody.
Yes.